So ironic that you brought up the buying the return to duty.
Yeah.
I've talked about this in some videos of mine, and I'm in a lot of trucking, SAP trucking groups, the SAP trucking company groups. I'm always on the hunt and prowl for trucking jobs, so I can help other SAP drivers find a job, right?
Yes.
Now a lot of times I see people saying, all right, I finished with my step 5 return to duty. How can I go through the step 6 follow-ups? And the only one true way to go through the follow-ups is by having a job with a company that would do the follow-ups for you. You cannot buy your follow-ups with a consortium or another SAP provider or SAP counselor and all that. Not going to name any names, but Mr. Irby, tell me why they cannot do that.
Ooh, Mamma mia. What happened with that? People are getting caught up in a fraudulent situation. The FMCSA hate this because it is fraud. Here's the ruling with the FMCSA. This is what the federal regulation says. You have to do a minimum of 6 follow-ups in a minimum of 12 months. You cannot get all your follow-ups done in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. That's fraud. And when the clearinghouse catches up with you, I've had 2 drivers had to return back to me from a consortium. They got chewed out pretty good by investigators and got stripped of their SAP process certification, and they had to start from the beginning. And they came to me and they told me they were pretty upset because they paid a lot of money to the consortium, but they had to start all over because their SAP process was not recognized by the government.
That's the thing.
Once again, yes,
Money.
that's pretty bad. Money.
No.
You cannot go through a follow-up process in less than 12 months. The follow-up process is in 6 months increments. 12 months, maybe you could jump to 18, then 2 years, 24, etc., all the way up to 5 years. If the SAP feels that you have a serious addiction, but they're going to let you be in the SAP process, they may hit you with 5 years of follow-ups, and they got the right to do so. Now, you don't want to go to anybody that's going to sell you follow-ups for less than 12 months. You have to do at least a minimum of 6 follow-ups. And everybody got another misconception out here in this SAP orbit.
Tell me about it.
They think everybody gets 6 follow-ups. That's just the minimum. And once again, I'm hearing from inspectors and investigators that they're getting sick of this. And they're getting on SAPs and they're chasing down SAPs about giving everybody the minimum. You got to change this up because everybody don't deserve or merit the minimum. And they're getting pretty upset. I don't use, and I will disclose this to everybody here on this broadcast, I don't use 6. I use a different number because I don't want to be caught up and get the alarm set on me. So it's a minimum of 6 follow-ups in a minimum of 12 months. So after so many follow-ups and after 12 months, then you could do step 6. The employer or consortium can do step 6, which basically closes up the SAP process.
I can't imagine, paying $250 per follow-up only to have to restart the whole ordeal again, especially if they're told, all right, well, you got to do 8 follow-ups, because they might tell them 6, but who knows? How if they don't know that they can't pay for follow-ups, who knows that the consortium can't just say, oh, no, you have to pay for 12 follow-ups, and then they're paying $250, each follow-up. And, I can't imagine the scams that are going on with people that are uneducated, with people that don't know that you can't do this. If you're going to have your follow-ups, do it through a trucking company. And here's one other thing, guys. I lucked out with the company I'm at. My company paid for my follow-ups.
Yes.
They don't have to.
That's
No
right.
company
They don't have to.
has to pay for your follow-up. So if
Right.
you go to a company and you're upset that they're making you pay for your drug test for your follow-ups, that's part of being a SAP driver. That's one of the downfalls. We have to pay for our own. You might get lucky like I did and have a company that'll pay for them for you, but they're not required to.
They're not required to. And that's one of the things that everybody needs to know. You can negotiate with your employer concerning the payment, even the return to duty, which the employer doesn't, is nowhere in the federal regulations that the employer is mandated to pay for it, along with mandated to pay for the follow-ups. But you can negotiate with them, but you really want to, if you can, go ahead and pay for them, in my opinion, so you could keep the job. It's a small price to pay in order to keep a career.